And then there was one final week to get that championship wrapped up. I should be getting one. Brendan, you getting one?
I hope so. I'll cry if I don't.
Yeah, right there with you. Bring on the
hmm
tissues. Yo, what's happening, everybody? Just about wrapped up with week 16. Here we are to talk about the recap semifinals. Put to bed. It's ready for championship week. Whether you win or lost, we're going to be here with you all week, and I know you are too. Brendan, how are we doing today?
Oh, just walling in my sadness because Josh Allen decided to shit the bed in a matchup. I really needed him to not shit the bed.
The amount of players that showed up this week, some of the highest scoring matchups I'd seen in a while in some fantasy
I
leagues, but we
know.
still had some guys just piss poor performances.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. We are recording this, of course, right before Monday Night Football. We've got one last game here on the slate. The Saints are going to take on the Packers. It's Spencer Rattler behind center, Kendre Miller. I know people are holding out, hoping that they can get him a few more points. Do you see this game being like? I think Josh Jacobs is guaranteed to be good. Outside of that, I think there's question marks on every other player in this game.
I saw a matchup where like someone posted like they need 11 points from Jaden Reed in a full point PPR, and I'm just like, that's not a guarantee. Like that's crazy because you just know his game script's like beat Josh Jacobs, sprinkle in a little bit of receptions here and there. Like I don't know if like Jordan Love's a good start this week just because of the narrative of this game script could be really, really bad. So
100%. We saw it with the Falcons game. They had two defensive touchdowns early, and Michael Penix had a decent game, but it just wasn't put together. They didn't need him. They didn't need a whole lot. I think we have a great possibility here. Who is it? Nix, the secondary piece for the Packers. I feel like he gets an interception every single game, so I wouldn't be surprised if that streak continues here on this one.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and start off with some. Let's start with some winners. Let's talk about some of the
Mhm.
guys that helped you get to that championship game. If you're playing some 10T ESPN leagues, I know championships were last week, just 2 rounds in the playoffs. But for the most of us, we're still going on. Quarterbacks though, Jaden Daniels. We got to talk about this one here. 81 rushing
Crazy.
yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 258 yards all together. This was not the game that everybody was sweating it. Everybody was sweating it. He did not do great in this first matchup, but wow, what a day.
Yeah, like what a difference it was night and day because like you just saw like Quinion Mitchell lock down Terry McLaurin, and of course like what did Terry got a touchdown, right? He did. He had a pretty decent game, if not mistaken. But I also know it was like Zacchaeus had a really good game. All the other wide receivers for Commanders had a really good game. But yeah, what a stud.
Yeah, Terry had 60 yards and a touchdown, but Zacchaeus, he was top six play on the week so far. 70
Just like we
yards and
predicted.
2 touchdowns. Oh, of course.
Yeah, just like we predicted.
Yeah, Zacchaeus, let's see, started in 0% ownership and 0% on Sleeper.
Wow, we're all geniuses.
Loving those points that get passed around to those guys. Other quarterbacks, Bryce Young, another one we saw coming, right? Absolutely. How could we not?
He's been on the burner, man. He's not been bad, and I actually like him moving forward.
Yeah, I've liked him in the last few weeks. He's been pretty decent as a great QB2 play, and I'm excited about him next week against Tampa. But this one, I was nervous. Arizona, we do not know what kind of team this is. It's kind of they show up, whoever shows up. So I thought it was going to be a little harder matchup for Bryce Young, but he took care of business. 17 completions, 158 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and 68 on the ground with the he's got 3 rushing touchdowns in the last 4
Yeah,
games.
he's kind of mobile. He's not too bad. I think we'll be talking about him like later on in the offseason for like dynasty buys. He's someone I definitely want to buy in on right now.
100%. Other quarterbacks, no, like Sam Darnold. He just keeps. What do we do with this guy? 13-2. This is going to be a
I
fun narrative for the next few months.
I can tell you if I'm the Vikings, you extend him. JJ McCarthy could be good. He could be almost Sam Darnold good. Like 13 wins is 13 wins, or yeah, 12 wins, right? What do they have? 12 or 13?
I think they're
13,
13
right?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. 13 wins is pretty impressive. Like you tell me like you can repeat that success with a, unexperienced quarterback, like good luck. Like I would rather pay Sam Darnold for a couple years, let JJ sit behind, learn the system, get better, get developed. But yeah, I don't know if I want to let Sam walk.
Yeah, this was a rebuilding team in the division. They're going to have the fourth most cap space next year, I believe. So,
Yeah.
at like minimum, franchise tag him. franchise him, tag him, and then trade him that way. But you've got the cap space to do it. You can't just let him walk for a third round conditional pick. Like you can get so much more from this. And it might be the situation where you hold. I mean, I don't know holding both of them exactly. I know that brings the drama in itself, but yeah,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like you have, like if he wins a playoff game and then he makes the next one competitive against like the Eagles or Lions, like, dude, like, are you really gonna let that walk? Like Kevin O'Connell's coach of the year, by the way. Like, no seconds. Like, dude's amazing.
Absolutely.
But I'm extending Sam Darnold though.
Geno Smith had a pretty good game. Nice little shootout. Took Minnesota to the brink. Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, even Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, top 10 quarterback going into this night.
Yeah, his stats it's really weird seeing his record and seeing his stats. Like, I think he's 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, like almost 3,200 yards passing. It's running a really good year statistically. It's just not reflecting on the wins and losses.
Yeah, has not thrown a pick since week 6. That's pretty damn great.
Yeah,
I think he owns the record right now, or the longest most pass attempts without an interception currently, or something like that.
Yeah,
great stuff. Great stuff though. Not as great as what we got from the running back out there in Indianapolis. The guy who drops touchdowns, he didn't drop them this week. 218 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then on 29 rush attempts. Great game from Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody who was in the playoffs had him and started him, but if you had him, it's great. Basically, I guarantee you probably secured you to the finals with that performance. He probably could have had more yards too had the Colts not been up 31-7 and then just kind of benched him. Then of course we get stagnant, almost blow the game. But hey, a win's a win.
Win's a win. Yep, it's securing us closer to that 15th draft pick. Or 15th pick overall. Let
me ask you this, though. Should Jamar Chase been the number 1 overall pick in everyone's league?
100%.
Yeah. Dude just eclipsed 1,500 yards. It's crazy that he turned down the deal. I get why since he, not essentially lowballed him, but like made the offer they did. But now he just gambled on himself. Now this dude's just like, you're going to pay me a lot more than what you offered me originally. This is going to get really interesting.
Before it was just he wanted $1 more than Justin Jefferson. Oh, no, there's a year of inflation in there now. 1,510 yards, 108 receptions on 146 targets, 16 touchdowns this season. Rookie year, he had 13. Since then, it's been single digits. Absolutely crushing it. Yards per catch, almost nearly 14 yards per catch. Wow. Jamar Chase. Wish we could have had him. Yeah, he was definitely the pick. I thought it was going to be Tyreek Hill. I took him a lot in my number 1 pick, bypassing CMC a little bit. I wasn't 100% on CD as the number 1. I really thought I was getting cute there with Hill, and who'd have thought it was the 4th guy there, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Another guy who is just annoying as all get out, Keenan Allen. He's been crushing it the last few weeks. Finishes wide receiver 2 so far. He's had wide receiver 14, 54, 3, and 6 over the last 5 weeks. 5 touchdowns in 5 weeks. The guy won't be on the team next year. They're not playing for anything. What's it matter?
I mean, I love Roma Dunze. I mean, I think he's going to be slotted as a wide receiver 2 going into next year. He hasn't had like a really, exciting year. I mean, we kind of figured that with 3 mouths to feed 100%. From the wide receivers. But more of a disappointing. I think Marvin Harrison's way more disappointing though than Rome.
See, I don't think Rome's disappointing. I think the Bears are disappointing. Rome hasn't really disappointed me. He's, like you said, he's buried in the depth chart. He's on this crap team. Marvin Harrison Jr.'s got one other player to compete with, and they could both be 140 target, over the season. It just didn't pan out that way. The best wide receiver, though, he got taken later. It's your man crush over here Monday for this fella. Brian Thomas Jr., 132 yards on 9 receptions. 13 targets, a touchdown. It seems to be QB proof. He's had 4 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. He's been over 100 yards the last 2.
Tell me you won't put him as a top 5 wide receiver next year in fantasy. I'm going to do it.
He's easily top 10. I don't know if I've got him quite top 5, but I don't see why he couldn't be at this point.
I'm putting when I do my rankings next year, I'm going to be very, very hard to not have him as a top 5.
Yeah, I'm going to cool my Jets. Just maybe go 6 or 7. Just because there's that Brendan bias in there.
Sure, you can call me biased, but when he puts up just continuously good points with Mac Jones, out of all people, I'll be biased.
Jamar Chase, George Pickens, and Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, JJ gets ahead of a couple. All right, I can't dismiss JJ. Okay.
So there's your top four then.
Yeah.
I mean, over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. I believe only two other guys have had a more productive rookie season in Odell Beckham and Jamar Chase. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's where that is.
I'm gonna try to
Jameson
sell a
Williams.
farm for him though in Dynasty. I'm gonna try to sell everything I can for that man.
That's the crappy thing is if you have him, you probably should trade him just because of what you could get on the hype of this offseason. And if you want to go acquire him, you might have to wait till next season to get him on
Hmm.
a chilled out price. Jameson Williams, 143 yards, 5 catches, and a touchdown. He had a one hell of a day against Chicago.
He was an 80-yard bomb, if I'm not mistaken, right, for a touchdown.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Also great. I mean, I don't know how the Niners do it. I guess they found this guy on the street, absolutely tore it up. 9 targets, 7 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. 5 rushing attempts as well, 25 yards. What's his name? Debo Samuel. This
No
new guy
one
they got.
started him though. No one, honestly, no one. I went against somebody who benched him. I don't blame him, but I'm just sitting there, just like, I don't blame anybody for benching him. But of course, he was going to have this game. He was due for it, but
Yeah,
he's not going to be on the team next year, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. No, they extended Jennings, they extended Ayuk, and Pearsall was a first round pick. There's no reason they need to keep him.
That's
At
a
his
disappointment
age.
pick. Is Pearsall?
Yeah.
Did you watch
That
him get
one.
grilled by the wide receiver coach?
Uh-uh.
Oh, go when you go on a chance, go on Twitter and just type in Ricky Pearsall coach, like in those words, and you'll just see the wide receiver coach just grill him for a bad route run.
That was I really thought that was a sneaky dynasty pick for the contending teams this year.
I did too. I was like, oh, he'll be just slotted in, kind of like a slot roll, just sneaky like 70 receptions kind of a thing. Nope. Bad.
As I sat there and looked at Juwan Jennings, they can probably drop him at this point. Dumbass!
Idiot.
JSN, I can't wait to have the offseason talks about him. 95 yards and a touchdown, 12 targets, caught 8 of them. Him and Gino were lighting it up. I mean, back to back. He's only had one game outside of wide receiver 23, and it was wide receiver 34 since week 8. It's been incredible what we've got now. But
Dude's good. I mean, when Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave both said that he's better than both of them, you gotta take that for what it's worth.
that was going to be my in Dynasty. Who would you rather have of those three?
Oh, JSN. Going forward, it's JSN. Unless Garrett Wilson gets traded to some juicy spot,
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
if they stay with their current teams, though, I 100% want JSN. Like,
Yeah.
in 9 weeks ago, I can't imagine what JSN was being sold for in week 4 this year of the season, week 5. Just pennies on the dollar. Absolutely incredible. Just like AJ Brown, incredible. 8 catches, 97 yards, 15 targets. He had to take that many because it was Kenny Pickett tossing the rock this week.
Yeah.
Incredible. And this is another juicy one we've got here. Xavier Worthy, back-to-back weeks with 11 targets, caught 7 of them for 65 yards and a touchdown. Back-to-back weeks with 3 carries, had 10 yards on those 3 carries. This has got to be a dynasty sell too. Like if you're looking in that lens, because what happens to him when Rashee Rice comes back?
Yeah, and it's interesting because Hollywood Brown actually had a really good game too. Like he was this is going to go back to where like I think Rashee Rice is the X, and everyone just kind of gets bits and pieces next year, like where they go, well, actually, Rashee Rice is going to be suspended, so it's going to be a little more interesting with this offseason because I don't know what to do with them. I kind of want to hold Xavier Worthy. I think he works really well with when other players are on the team.
I think so too. I don't know. He's not definitely that dominant one that you're going to see
No.
out there. So there's advantages of other like star players being out there.
Yeah.
Other running backs, Saquon absolutely crushed it. Only 150 yards. I say only because he had 109, I believe, in the first quarter. So kind of lackluster day for him in 3 quarters. So
Yeah. What a terrible.
right. James Cook, 100 yards and a touchdown. James Conner, 117 and a touchdown. Jameer Gibbs, 145 all-purpose and a touchdown.
Which we all expected when David Montgomery got out.
Honestly, Jameer Gibbs was a little disappointing, if we're being honest. Finishes running back 7 at this point, 23 points. He can do that with Montgomery. So, like, you take out Montgomery, man. Like, where's the 30 points?
But the belt to ass was already given, so they really didn't need to keep using him. So,
oh no, paddle that hiney. Come on, Dan. Dan Campbell, he doesn't hold back. Bijan, Jerome Ford, Derrick Henry, Gus Edwards kind of file out to the last of your top 12. All great performances. A high-scoring week, like across the board.
Across the board, yeah. Great week.
And tight end, Brock Bowers, of course. Then Chigakonko, as we all called, had to, 9 catches, 81 yards.
Stud, because you're gonna start him next week again too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just wild situation when you've got the quarterback switches there. Let's talk about some disappointments, though. Let's talk about some losers. The guys who absolutely just doo-dooed in the shorts.
I think number one for a lot of people is Josh Allen. I think they expected a really big game out of him. He's been kind of carrying you all year with some stud performances. He's been in that MVP race. Lamar put up 5 touchdowns, so you figured like, okay, he's going to kind of match that energy, but nope, poo-poo.
After 3 straight QB1, QB3 performance, 3 straight 7s before that, this was, it was inevitable. Right, just that disappointment after just so much buildup. I played him in two playoff rounds, and I was almost going into it thinking, "Oh, I'm not going to win this. I'm not going to win this divisional game. They're going to stink that ass." Of course, the Patriots come in there and make it challenging, make it a good game, and Josh Allen, broke some hearts.
Yeah, the running game was just so effective against the Patriots, though, so he really didn't need to throw as much. But yeah, it's just super disappointing.
As far as quarterbacks, it was really not too many disappointments outside of him. Aaron Rodgers and Tua, I guess those were kind of like middling guys.
Aaron Rodgers, I would say, is disappointing. I expected a big kind of shootout game against the Rams, and I think he only put up like 13 points, right? That's
Yeah, he had 256 yards, which is not bad, but just the one touchdown. That really hurts him. Of course, he's not running for shit.
Yeah.
Tua, wasn't a great game. Obviously, hurts. That coming back and smacked you in the mouth, but you can't do anything about that. Concussion.
Yeah.
Running backs, let's talk about some of those fellas. Not too many that hurt you. Wish Breece Hall had a few more points because I think he started out with 9, finishes the day with 11.
Yeah, it wasn't like, great game for him. I'm trying to think about it's hard to say because this is such a high scoring week. Like, you just really weren't disappointed. You just got outscored.
Yeah, that's usually what happened. Chase Brown, too. Again, not a bad day, 12 points and half PPR, RB19 on the week.
Oh,
but
I forgot one. Pacheco. Pacheco was an absolute dud. Kareem Hunt outscored. That was so frustrating.
Yeah, that one's really bad. Finished with 3 points, 26 rushing yards, negative in the receiving category.
Pooper Cup was Pooper.
I
think he's someone that you fade from here on out. The age is a thing here, and it's showing.
The amount of people with he can't dodge it back-to-back rounds, just go at it. It's the playoffs. I don't know about that. Patrick Taylor, somebody I was completely not bought into this week. I thought Izzy was going to get the work, so I was wrong there. But definitely it was not Patrick Taylor. 8 for 24, 5 targets, only caught 1 for 1 yard. This is, unless they make a change and put in Izzy Abanikanda, we inevitably are going to go into championship week not getting to play a 49ers running back.
Which is kind of sad because Shanahan loves just utilizing one running back.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Etienne, you probably had some aspects of trying to start him, but he had a pretty bad week too.
I thought it was a decent play. Against Vegas, I thought there was going to get some run. Obviously, when you got Brian Thomas Jr. stealing all of the work, it's a little challenging. Yeah. Tony Pollard coming off injuries. I know there's some hesitations. People wanted to play him. Tajay Spears got the 2 touchdowns. The Colts took care of business, but when both touchdowns go to the backup, Pollard's left with 35 yards.
Yeah. Let's see. Rico Dowdle actually didn't have a great game either. Tampa has been pretty susceptible to have a bad defense, but 13 carries, 23 yards, only 3 receptions. It's a pretty bad game for someone who's been having over 100 yards the past 3 weeks in a row.
Especially when they get away with the win.
Mm-hmm.
Very little troubling there. Little wide receivers I've got here. DJ Moore.
Puka he wasn't great either. He 8 catches, 56 yards. I think did he fumble it or something? Because my stats weird. Because 8 catches, 56 yards, and he has 9.6 points in fantasy.
Yeah, that's right. You got 4 points from the catches, 5.6.
Oh, yeah, that's half point. I'm an idiot, so forgive me. Garrett Wilson, not a great day. Needed a touchdown to make it better.
Mike Evans, not terrible, 5 catches for 69 yards. But when you get 69.5 as his over-under in 90% of your parlays, you wake up a little pissed off this morning. Just a wee bit, 69.5. I was like,
you can blame Rashad White because he would have probably gotten one more catch in that end of that game. So,
Garrett Wilson down there at 44, Drake London at 45, Devonta Smith at 46.
Can we talk about your boy?
He hasn't played
Mr.
yet.
Pitts? No, Mr. Pitts.
Christian Watson plays tonight. Whoa, I abandoned Pitts at least 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. He abandoned him for sure. He
Dude,
abandoned Michael Penix for an interception.
dude, literally tossed the rock there down in the end zone. Kyle Pitts, they picked up his 5th-year option.
I mean, like,
I mean, I guess they finished. I don't see them. That's a fully guaranteed season. I just don't know if they.
I mean, it's his last year with them. I mean, unless he has some like wow factor year with Michael Penix, like him and Penix are just like PB and J together, he gone.
Did you see them trading him this offseason, though?
No, not with that guaranteed money he's got. No way.
Oh man, I don't
That's
know
a
what
lot
the
of
Kirk
cash.
Cousins dead cap's going to look like. I'm kind of excited to see as that progresses the next couple weeks.
I don't think they cut. I mean, like, a lot of more teams now are just saying like, screw it and cutting it and just eating the dead cap. But like, the Titans might be in play for him.
I was
Like,
going
I
to
could
say
see
a trade away, maybe not necessarily a
Yeah.
full cut, but like I could see them moving on from Kirk for
I
sure.
just hope Chris Ballard's fired because I swear to God, if I hear Kirk Cousins talks as a Colts fan, I am going to blow my brains out. Dude, I'm so over it. We got off the veteran carousel for a reason. We're not going back. It's not worth it. He's
Right,
washed.
I'll ride. Give me Richardson. I don't mind. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
give me another year. I'll take it.
I will throw out, I guess, a couple winners. Just Atlanta, we were talking about them as a defense. If you streamed them, 26 points in most leagues ish, depending on how you play it. 2 defensive touchdowns will definitely get it done for you, but knocked it out of the park for you.
Yeah.
Cincinnati was number 2 defense with 18 points. Not bad. We don't highlight defenses too much, but
Yeah.
Let's talk some injuries here. Tank Dell on Saturday had a gruesome one. After a great game, we finally get a good game
Yeah,
out of
I
it.
know.
We're like just enough to give us questions going into the offseason. So like maybe it just took him a little bit to come around.
Back-to-back season injuries. I know.
Yeah. So if you didn't see it, it's pretty gruesome. But his own teammate took him out just like last year, near the end zone in the leg. It's bad. It's a dislocated kneecap and a torn ACL, I believe is the report.
If you're squeamish about injuries, I wouldn't go watch it. His leg's dangling. You can definitely see his leg just kind of dangling
He's
in
got
the air.
skinny legs though, so it's not.
I know, but still. Jalen Hurts is a concussion. I mean, they're in a very interesting situation.
Incredibly interesting.
Because like they're a game behind the Lions. The Lions play the Vikings. I mean, like if the Lions win that game, there's no reason for them to play Week 18. But Jalen Hurts, I mean, concussion protocol for quarterbacks is very dicey.
Lions play the Vikings in 2 weeks. This week it's Lions
2 weeks.
Niners. Yeah.
Oh, got you.
So and then they play the Cowboys. The Eagles do. So they need to keep pace. If they could get this win without Hurts, they'll be golden because they'll have Hurts back for the final week. But most likely, we could see Hurts being out this coming week because I mean, most guys have been sitting out an extra game. Divisional game. They are. How wild is it? I guess the Vikings, if they don't beat the Lions, they'd have 3 losses, but they'd be sitting at 14-3 without a home playoff game potentially.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And breaking news, I just got the notification that he is in concussion protocol. I just got the notification. So
lovely. Ooh, Chargers have designated J.K. Dobbins to come back from IR. Thank God. We need some action there.
Yeah. Are you right now? What's your gut? Is he going to play this week? Yes or no?
I'm preparing that he's not going to play. Like, you have to go into it with that. It's championship week. You can't fuck around. You need to go get a quarterback or two.
Are you gonna? Does that like move the needle then for like Devonta Smith, AJ Brown at all? Are you gonna play them championship week? Or are you?
I'll still play AJ Brown. We saw that he functioned fine with Pickett. He's going to get hyper targeted because he plays that big physical ball. He can get open. So I'm okay playing AJ Brown, but Devonta Smith is probably going to be a pivot for me this week.
All right.
He plays at 1. We do have, so this coming week, we've got 2 Wednesday games, a Thursday game, and 3 Saturday games. So we have 6 games before we even get into the main slate. It is Sunday at 1, so at least you'll have a little bit more time to pivot, but there's only 2 afternoon games on Sunday.
I love the fact that Christmas Day can ruin a lot of people's championships. Like,
dude, the chaos.
Oh my God, it's so great. Because like if Lamar shits the bed on Christmas Day, there's just going to be so many people upset. Just like, are you fucking like? And it happened last year too. Because like I had a great Christmas Day. Because I went up against Mahomes and Kelsey, and the Raiders obviously just dog walked them that week. So I had a great Christmas Day. But yeah, I cannot wait to see so many like text threads or just Twitter threads of just like their Christmas is ruined.
Well, it's the Chiefs. You're going to be pushed into making like Pacheco and Hopkins decisions. The
Worthy.
Steelers, yeah, worthy. Steelers, you're really not playing anything over there except maybe the running backs, and then Ravens,
Hey,
Texans.
hold on. George Pickens might come back. All right,
Okay,
so
if Pickens
let's.
is back, I guess
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was thinking that he was, but even still against the Chiefs, he's going to need that freak play, and
Mm-hmm.
so it may only be 3 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown, but it's that
Great
65
day.
he broke off. Oh, great day, but like
Great
unless he
day.
gets that, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
2 for 15. And then yeah, Ravens Texans are going to force you to make some decisions there. Seahawks Bears after like folks, we have got a gauntlet ahead of us, but fear not, we will be here for it. Obviously, we got this episode today. Gonna get you the recap tomorrow. We've got the live stream, 3:30 Eastern to 4:30. It will be waiver wire day, but you know what? It's going to be more start sit day. Tomorrow we'll be answering start sit decisions for your
Championship.
yeah, for your championship for Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We'll cover all those games for you. And then on the backside of Christmas, we'll drop another episode for you to cover up the rest of the games. Dude, it's going to be fun.
I can't wait.
Cannot wait. If you're looking for more of us up until that point, you can find me at too much underscore Brian on
Damn it! I
Twitter.
just realized one of my matches is I'm facing Lamar on fan. Like I really like. Oh man, I just like. Oh damn it.
Yep. Luckily, I don't have too much going on the next 3 days. Luckily for
Oh
me, so I'm
damn.
pretty excited to kind of sit back and enjoy some football. But if
Hmm.
you want to see me enjoying that, talk to me. Ask for some start sit. It's at too much underscore Brian on Twitter, at too much Brian everywhere else, or on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Brennan, where can they find you?
I'm on X at FFA and BMulk, and then I'm in the Fantasy Football Advice Network Facebook group page as well, so you can find me there.
Come check us out. Hit us with those start sit questions. Again, come hang out with us 3:30 tomorrow Eastern time for the live stream. We'll be answering all the questions you possibly have, or maybe just doing a little grief processing. You know, all you losers out there. I've got plenty of losing teams. I'm still processing those, but we're riding high on the win. So, till next week, folks, or tomorrow. We'll see y'all later.